All right. So, good evening, everybody. How are we doing today? How has it been from our last meeting, which was Monday, till now? Any significant thing has any significant thing happened? Does anybody have anything to share with us? Anybody can unmute and speak. How has it been since our last session till now?
Okay, good evening, sir. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Alabi. Oluwakemi.
Yes. So from Monday till now, I think a lot has happened. The first thing I'm grateful for is the fact that I actually it took boldness for me actually to post on LinkedIn, and the kind of, that's a feedback I've been getting, I didn't expect it actually. So it's really it's actually encouraging for me. It's encouraging, like really encouraged me. So that's what I just put here.
That's good. And most of you, your legs were shaking when I said you post on LinkedIn. Who else? Who has something to share with us? How has it been from our last class till now? So let's talk so that we can break the ice. The whole place shouldn't be. This is a training, not in a public lecture. How do they call it? You know, those ones where a guest professor comes and reads a literature, gives one presentation, and then goes.
Good evening. Good evening, sir.
All right. Good evening, Fashina.
I hope I'm being heard.
Yes, please go ahead.
Oh, okay. I think for me, the writing challenge has really pushed me. I think my first day one for the writing challenge, I was more like, what will I write? And at a point, after much thought, I came about I should write about like the process of me applying for this training and what happened in between before I was accepted. And until today, I was also stuck, like, what would I write again? And I went online, like, probably I was the only one experiencing this kind of effect. Then I discovered that, it's actually associated to all writers, that they call something writer's block. Then I took some tips and I was able to put out something, which I posted just now.
All right. Congratulations, Fashina. I think our facilitator for today is listening. She might just say one or two things about writer's block. If not in this class, maybe in her next class. All right. So who else has something to say? Thank you so much, Fashina, for sharing. Who else has something to say to us?
I have something to say, sir.
Raji, go ahead.
Well, sir, for me, it's been going well, and since the day we started the class, I've been looking forward to like learn more and more about the SEO content writing. And so the writing challenge, writing on LinkedIn for me is not that a new thing. Because even before now, I was even a participant in a writing challenge since September commenced. So, and we are finishing it in some days. So having this opportunity again, I think it will even push me forward to keep doing more and more. Since we are going to do for 1 month, I expect before this 1 month writing challenge ends, we must have achieved a lot. One more thing is, those we are doing this training with, I don't really know much of them on LinkedIn like that. I haven't connected with much of them. I think the only person I came across her post was Miss Alabi that just spoke now. I don't really see much post of this our side. I don't know if they are not using the hashtag or not. I don't know where the problem is coming from, because it will be good if we are seeing each other's posts and we are engaging. That will kind of encourage us to keep doing and keep doing more. As from your own side, sir, thank you for the encouragement. I'm always seeing your engagement in my post. Thank you very much, sir. And also from the first service handle too. Yes, thank you very much.
All right, Raji. Okay, thank you so much. Who is the last person? Who is going to be the last person to speak?
Hello everybody. Can we hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, I would say for me, one thing that's been very significant is my brain has been more active. Like I've been thinking, okay, what's next? What's the next thing to write about? What's the next thing to do? So it has helped me to be more active in my thinking capacity.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Chini, for sharing. I appreciate. So I appreciate everybody that's in a way lent their voice. Thank you so much. We would still talk about the writing challenge towards the end of this class. And so I will just quickly point out for the writing challenge. So Raji, even if it's from your post, if perhaps you want to see other people's posts, try and click on the hashtag. So once you hashtag that hashtag FastIR content writing challenge, it automatically activates. So if you click it, you see other people that have been posting and using that hashtag, and then you can follow or connect or interact with their post. So this is also not only for him, this is for everybody. So as a matter of fact, I want to believe that everybody going through this training should be able to connect with one another on LinkedIn and also try and see how you can share value amongst yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, so it's for everybody. It's not only for Raji, everybody. So, but
Yes, sir, it does.
Towards the end, I will still have a thing or two to talk about regards to this. That said, we're going straight to what we have for this evening. So as you can see, compared to the first class, people have started reducing. There is another question I would have asked, but I will reserve that for the closing part of the class. So people who did day 1 for the writing challenge and did not do day 2, I want to ask you the color of cane you want me to use for you this night. But of course, that will come after we have fed you people with the knowledge we have. Okay. So without wasting much time, I already gave a little intro of the person that will be taking us on today's class. Her name is Success Nwajie. She also happens to come through our system at FastIR Services, and most of what we do, she has a knowledge of it, and she will be the one giving us or talking to us today. Before I forget, so I need to be sure and I need to have a report. I did not do it in the first class, so that anytime I'm cross-checking the attendance, so everybody that is on this session, please just type present in the comment section. I would always have the chats on my cloud. So when we're ready to remove people who are not part of or who are not serious, we will use the attendance list to know. So just type present, perfect. So that said, her name is Success Nwajie. She's a content writer. She has been a content writer for 3 or 4 years now. In our system, she has been with us for over a year. Okay, so and she's going to be taking us through today's session. Please try as much as you can. She will try to make it interactive. Don't be hostile. Remember, the importance of learning this one is going to translate to what is going to come in the future. If we do not lay the foundation with this, if we do not lay the foundation here, because we want to assume that there are people who maybe are still new to content writing. Even if you're not new, there are certain things you still learn differently. So this class and the next class she's going to take will be focused on content writing. So if you have content writing questions, aside maybe what she's also going to cover, you can start preparing your question also here also. So towards the end, we're going to take questions, but learn what she has to give. Please, this is the time where you have a pen, a book around you. This is not just time for you to put your headphones alone. You get your systems if possible. She's going to be breaking down processes, writing processes, and what have you. So ask questions if you have questions, and try and get the best out of the whole process. All right. Thank you so much, Success. You can take it over from here. Are you sharing? You can share your distance so that okay, just greet them, then take over from here. All right.
Hello, guys. Good evening. Please confirm if you can hear me. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, ma.
Oh,
Please, let's
okay,
give her a
great.
round of applause.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Richard, for the warm introduction. And good evening, everyone. I am excited to be here to be anchoring this section, and I want to commend Fast Hire for creating this wonderful opportunity. And I want to also encourage all of you. You don't get this kind of training for free. You don't get it for free. So whatever you can get from this, please ensure you're getting the best, you're tapping the best knowledge, you're utilizing it, because SEO content writing is a great skill that can pay you not just now, even in time to come. All right. Okay, so I'll just yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. All right, guys, we have 1 hour for this class. So I'm going to try my best to utilize the time so we don't exceed 1 hour and we can take your question. We are looking at introduction to content writing. Introduction to content writing. So I want to make a special request, and that is everyone in this class. I don't know your background. I believe some of you are already content writers and you are in this class because you want to learn SEO. And also, some of you may not even have an idea of what SEO content writing may be all about. But my request is kindly just whatever you know about content writing, put it aside. Let's embrace this class as though we're just learning content writing for the first time, because that's the angle I'm going to come on with. I'm going to teach like I'm teaching complete newbies. What are the things you're supposed to know in content writing, right? So, okay. All right. So my name is Nwajie Success, and recording in progress. My name is Nwajie Success. All right. Sorry about that. My name is Nwajie Success, and I also go by the name Emrad. I am a content writer. I help small business owners and I help small business owners drive sales growth with valuable, engaging content. I also coach aspiring writers to master content writing and build visibility. Today, I'll be your coach. So I want to implore you all to please
Sorry, we're
let's
getting
ride
the
on together.
feedback I'm getting. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. I tried joining with another phone just in case I have a network glitch. I will not be completely
Okay, so
out.
what you do is that other phone, reduce the volume to 0.
Okay.
Yeah, reduce the volume to 0. Then mute it also.
All right.
Okay.
I've done that. Okay, how is
You
it
can go
now?
ahead.
Hope it's
Yeah,
clear.
it's not yeah, the feedback is not there again.
All right. So what we'll be looking at the following things in this class. What is content writing? Types of content writing, essential skills for content writers, how to develop a content writer's mindset, how to build confidence in your skills as a content writer, what makes a great written content. And I'm going to also take you through the process, through my thought process in creating content. Like it's going to be a practical section. Then we'll look at how to create and format social media posts to increase readability. I understand you are going through 30 days content writing challenge on LinkedIn. So you need to know how to format your social media posts so that your audience can flow with you. Then, of course, we'll take questions, we'll take answers, and then we'll call it a day. Of course, there's an assignment. So please pay attention as we move on, right? All right. So what is, okay, I'm not supposed to show you that slide. What is content writing? I would like someone can, let me see. Someone can unmute. Grace. Okay, let me not call names. What is content writing? Can someone just unmute one person and give us what is content writing? The rest you can just type it. I can see your response. Someone, you can, anyone can unmute and tell me what content writing is. Should I call names? Can you guys hear me?
You can go ahead and call names.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
All right.
Yeah, my name
Good
is
evening.
So, content writing is the ability to be able to write for the purpose of creating values and insights about a particular brand. It could
Okay,
either
that's perfect.
create awareness or
Mhm.
it could either be to create awareness or to prompt them to join a particular program, just like the one we are doing. So majorly just to create valuable insights about a particular brand.
That's perfect, Olabisi. Thank you so much. Two things you mentioned I love to create awareness and also is the process of writing informative content, process of informing and the essence is to create awareness and also make your audience take an action. That's beautiful. Does anyone else want to say something about what content writing is before I give you my definition? Anyone else?
Yes. My name is Moise Fashino. I feel content writing is about expressing with words in order to enlighten people, majorly expressing with the use of words.
Okay, thank you so much. Um, Fa- sorry, I can't call your name, but thank you, expressing with words. And I see you, the Lillian that writes. Content writing is planning, creating valuable content for online consumption. It could be in various forms like blogs. Thank you very much. That's perfect. We have smart ass people here. Thank you so much. All right, so that's not like far from what I have, right? So you all made it clear. Now, according to the definition by Backlinko is a website that talks about content writing, SEO, Content marketing. Content writing is the process of planning, writing, and publishing written material that is intended for online consumption. The goal of content writing is to inform, educate, or persuade readers. The process of planning, writing, and publishing. We can take that first three because it's very important. A lot of persons may write anything, but if whatever you're writing out is not well planned, it could be it would send a message, but because it's not planned or well organized, it would not really send that message across. So content writing takes this processes planning first before writing, then publishing. And it is intended for online consumption because we write things every day. If you're not publishing it online, then it's not specifically content writing. The goal is to inform, take note of these three words: inform, educate, or persuade. In other words, content writing is the process of creating engaging and informative content for digital platforms. Engaging and informative. These words are important. Engaging. I'm sure you might have read some things online that at the end of reading it, you hit yourself in the head and you're like, why did I even read this? Because it's it's informative, yeah, but somehow you are lost because you couldn't flow from the beginning of that content to the end. So a good content should be engaging, it should be informative, it should serve a purpose, it should solve a problem. I see content writing as a journey, and I see content writing as a process of solving a puzzle. The puzzle you're solving is not for yourself, it's for your audience. If you're able to solve their puzzle, then they find your content engaging and informative, and they may come back because what you have written for them is important. It's very necessary you understand what content writing is all about so that whenever you sit down to write, you should understand that, oh, this thing I'm about to write should solve a problem. Is it engaging? Is it informative? Will it serve any purpose? If your content, whatever form it is not solving any particular problem, then it is not an informative or engaging content. I hope that is understood. So I will not flog that much because, I mean, we all know the definition, right? Now, why do we create content? Someone mentioned building brand awareness. There are different reasons why different organizations, companies, individuals create content online. Of course, to build brand awareness. Brand awareness is more like you want people to know about your brand. If you are someone who sells t-shirts, you create an online presence, maybe in social media, and you start writing about different ways to style t-shirts. The reason you're doing that is to create brand awareness, to let people know that, oh, there is somebody called, back then in school, I was selling t-shirts, and the name of my brand was Emerald Tees. So people get to hear about it often. So that's one of the purpose of writing content, to build brand awareness. This brand awareness may not just be for the companies you work for, it could be for your personal brand. Personal brand, like, building a perception around what you do, who you are. Content writing also serves the purpose of increasing website traffic. That's where search engine optimization comes in. You'll be learning that your subsequent classes ahead. When you create content for websites in form of blog posts, you are trying to bring people. There is a way the search engine works. Your content is being pushed out, even on social media. When you write and somebody is searching for something related to what you have written, it brings those people to you. So if it's on a website and on a blog, it brings or increases website traffic. So content writing is very important for brands. It helps in generating leads. Of course, if you're creating content around what you sell, more persons will know about you and they will want to buy. They will start coming to your DMs or your comment section to ask, oh, how much is this? How can you sell for fast hire? The services includes writing CV, essays, etc. So when we create content, when the content writers create content around these services, people want to know how much or how they can get those offerings. Establishing credibility, the list goes on and on. These are just a few of them. When you keep writing great content, you build credibility. Credibility means people begins to perceive you as an authority in your niche, right? They see you as somebody who knows what you are doing. And if your content is informative, if your content is engaging, people begin to trust you. It builds a kind of bond between you and your readers. All right, so we'll move on to types of content writing. There are different types of content writing. Um, there are blogging or blog posts. Blogging or blog post. When I say blogging, I was trying to open Fast Hire website. So I'll show you what a blog post looks like. But blog post, it's more like. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, well, with your success.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, ma.
Yes, we
All
can
right.
hear
All
you.
right. Okay, great. All right. We are now on types of content writing, and I was trying to explain what a blog post is. When you are looking for an information and you go on Google, you type, let's say, how to place an order on Jumia, and you type on Google. So let me not use Jumia because it's very direct. Let's say you type how to bake cake as a beginner. When you type that word on your search engine, you see different results. Those results pops out, and those are content or blogs written by different websites. So every website, most websites, has a section called blog, and or some website calls it articles, some website calls it different things, but it's more like blog where they write information or useful content. And so there are writers who specifically write on such blogs are called bloggers, right? So blog post is one type of content. Website copy. When we say website copy, when you go to any website at all, you see different write-ups. You see the about section, you see um the about section, you see any other navigation on the website, maybe contact us section, customer care, all the write-ups you see on the website is called website copy. And those write-ups are written by content writers. It's called copy because that's the name, right? They are written by content writers or maybe copywriters. But all of this falls under type of content writing. So there are writers that are specifically their expertise is on creating copies for websites. That's a type of content. Social media posts, the one you create on your social media platforms. Most companies hire social media writers to handle their social media pages. So you may not be a social media manager, but because you're a content writer, you can fill in the role of a social media manager because most times these companies hire content writers to create social media posts. Product description. Um, Product description are basically copies. Product description are basically copies that are included to, how do I describe this? How many of you have shopped online before? Like you've bought something online before, right?
We.
If you've bought or shopped online before, I'm sure that you did not just go online and you paid for anything you saw online. Let's say you want to shop on Jumia and you go on Jumia, maybe you want to shop silver wristwatch. So you first of all read the description, how to use it, the functionalities, the benefits, etc. When all those things you read are called product description, the essence of such is to persuade you to buy. They write the benefits, etc. So that's a type of content. Some persons are specifically they write product descriptions, etc. And it goes on and on. There's white paper and ebook. I'm sure you know what an ebook is. White paper is more like, a very long descriptive content for companies that are looking to venture into new markets. This kind of content provides everything about the company, the structure, their purpose, etc. Ghostwriting. Ghostwriting. Hmm. Ghostwriting is a kind of content where you write on behalf of a company, but your name remains anonymous. For instance, I get a job to write on the website of a company, but when the work is published, I am not published. Sorry, my name is not written as the author of the book. The book is someone else's name will be written there. That's what ghostwriting means. It means offering your services as an anonymous writer. There are a lot of companies that hires ghostwriters, maybe to write a novel, to write a story, to write a book, to write a social media post, to write articles, etc. The point is, if you're a ghostwriter, you do not have claim over what you have written because you'll be paid for it. Script writing, it's just like writing script for movies, YouTube videos, etc. So you see, content writing covers a broad range. It's not just blog, a lot. There are some persons that their job is just to create YouTube scripts, YouTube video scripts, and YouTube description, and they get paid. So don't think content writing is just about writing blog posts. No, there are a lot of aspects. There are different aspects of it. You need to utilize it. Copywriting. Copies are, content that are written for the purpose of making sales. They are usually persuasive in nature, like emails. Some emails can be written as copies, or any other content, like content written on landing pages. Any content that is written with the purpose of making sale is a copy. That's why websites content, some of them are called website copies, because you want to persuade those landing on your an action, either an action to subscribe to an email or an action to buy something from your website. All right, so the rest, social media content creation, I already explained. Marketing, white. Okay, that's a mistake right there. Okay. Now, what are the essential skills for content writers? Content writing is more than just putting words together. You need to know what your audience needs and how to communicate to them. To achieve this, you need some skills. Again, it's not just about putting words together. There are a lot of persons that knows how to write. A lot of persons can write. I mean, if you go to Facebook, if you go on LinkedIn, you see so many persons that are not necessarily content writers, but they do so well in writing. Now, the difference between these people and you is that you're a professional, and professionals, they know that content writing is more than just putting words together, because everyone can do that. You need the following skills to succeed as a content writer. Number one, why it loads, you need to understand how to do proper research. You need to understand how to do proper research. You'll be doing a lot of it as a content writer. And when I mean research, it's not just let's say you are given a topic, um let's say how to clean eczema in your skin. You just write from your head to clean eczema, you use so and so product. No, you need to do proper research to understand what others wrote about this topic, and what is the intention of this um topic. What are they trying to, the person who is searching for this, what does the person want to find out? So it is your duty to do that. That's what research mean. You need to know how to write and edit, to write error-free content. you need to understand, like you need to really understand what you're required to write about. Content writing is more than writing thesis or essays, etc. You need to understand why and what you are writing about. You should have good communication skills, your ability to communicate your thoughts, ability to communicate what you have researched makes you a better writer. Three persons can write the same topic, but you find out that one person is better. That's because that person's research skill, communication skill is top notch. You need good storytelling skill to excel as a content writer. I'm sure you're going to be hearing more of storytelling. I'll be emphasizing on it in our next class. Storytelling is not you coming to write what happened in your dream or story my mother told me. Storytelling is your ability to communicate words in a relatable way, maybe using instances around. Storytelling is more like being more creative, drawing a picture, painting a picture. And you can do that even while writing a blog post because there are a lot of persons writing. And in this current age, AI is competing with so many writers. Now, there will be a difference between you who know how to communicate your ideas and you know how to weave stories into your words and someone who goes to ChatGPT and regurgitate something. When you read these two content, you will know that this one is AI, this one was written by human. So you need to understand how storytelling works. Then you need to be curious. Curiosity. See, to succeed as a content writer, you must be curious. So now this is how curiosity works in content writing. You know what curiosity means now? Like you want to know why, how. You want to understand every fact because that understanding will help you communicate what people wants to hear. I don't know if you guys are understanding me. Are you guys following at all? Let me
Yes, we're
see your
flowing.
emojis if you're
Yes,
following to
ma, we
this
are
point.
following you, ma.
Yes, ma.
Yes, ma.
Are you guys with me?
Yes, ma.
Yes, ma, we are with you, ma. We are with you, ma.
Yeah.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma, we
Yes,
can
we
hear
can hear
you.
you. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, what was the last thing I said? Let me be sure you're following me, please.
Curiosity. We're talking about
Divine. Okay. Curiosity. Great. That's perfect. You're following. Okay. Okay, let's proceed. Um all right. I mentioned curiosity and I was saying that you need to have an open mind to understand whatever is happening around you. Because let me just mention that as a content writer, you have to be very diverse because sometimes you may be writing for organizations that may not that what they focus on may be something out of your league. And for you to perform very well, you need good research skills. You also need to be very curious so that you can go the extra mile in your research and it will help you create good content. All right. Ability to focus and be very patient, SEO knowledge, creativity, and adaptability. Ability to focus and be very patient is important because sometimes you may be required to write up to 2,000 words article, 3,000 words article, 1,500 words article. If you're not patient to do your research and to create good content, you may end up just churning out content like any other person and you will not stand out. Remember, one of the reasons you're taking this class is not just so you learn SEO content writing, it's so you learn how to stand out because there are a lot of persons writing content. You need to stand out. So these qualities, these skills will help you to details, to attention, and it will improve your content. I hope you guys are understanding. Creativity and adaptability, you should be able to adapt to I mean, you may be today you may be working with a client that is into relationship and you're writing about dating. Tomorrow you may be with a client that is food. that writes about food, where you have to write different recipe. Tomorrow you're writing about personal development. Next tomorrow you're
Can you people hear her?
No, sir. No, sir. We can't hear anything.
Okay. I
Can't
think
hear
it's okay. Just hold on. I think it's our network. Okay, while we're waiting for her to rectify the network, I hope everybody can hear me. So I'm just going to talk a bit about social media content writing. Can you people hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you,
So,
sir.
but the moment she joins back, I'll just stop whatever I was saying, I'll just stop so that she takes over. I think she's still here, but let her just join back. I'll just stop. So, in social media content creation for people who have already started the challenge, I noticed something, so I'll just address it generally. First of all, if you're making social media posts, it is always pertinent that you use an image. Now, in the past, let's say 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you could make posts on social media without any graphics and it's fine. But the times have changed. Now, people would not relate with your post if they are not seeing anything graphically appealing, pleasing, graphically pleasing, right? So you either, that's why you see people use their image or a nice image photo they took, or they kind of use a picture that is similar or talks that is closely related to what they wrote about. So please take note of that. You mustn't use your image all the time. You could always take images that, for instance, if I'm writing about content writing, or if this post is about content writing, I use a picture of content, a picture that has maybe a pen and a book, something like that. So also, when you're writing, try to space your content, right? So web content, be it blogs or be it social channels, you are trying to communicate with people with a short attention span, and you want them to read your content. People say, how long can content be that it will not distract people? So we usually say that it should be as long as possible to get the people to understand, and as short as possible, sorry, as long as possible to give out all the necessary information that is needed, and as short as possible to not lose their interest. So for each of your paragraphs in your social content, you're not writing like you're writing your school text or that. You have to be breaking it, you have to give space, so it makes it easy. Two of us can write 100 words post, and you just put yours together and just put it out, and I kind of break mine into like 4 different paragraphs or sentences that have spaces. People find it easy to read mine, so you should also do that in terms of social media content writing. Then another thing is use icons, symbols to place to indicate points or areas where you have maybe a key point. So you could either use a pin, you could use I hope we all know what a pin is. So you could use let me just drop some icons now so that we could know what I'm talking about. Where are they? So I'm just trying to look for some nice. You could use a light bulb, maybe for a place where you dropped something that talks about an insight. You could use a pin, you could use a good, you get so all those kind of stuff. So certain areas where you have those, you can apply that. Then in your hashtags, ensure that your hashtags are properly spaced. So I noticed some mistakes with some people where all their hashtags were together. For instance, if they say hashtag day 4, hashtag fast tire content writing challenge, so they are all together. So it's supposed to be shift. So if there's hashtag day 4, shift, so that each of them would be active. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
Am I making sense? All right. Okay, great. So those are some of the things you have to take note of when writing social media content. Then there's one danger that a lot of people need to avoid. So when writing social media content, the challenge we see is that everybody is trying to act like they are thought leaders or experts, right? Not everybody is an expert, and you should not fall into that what's it called, hole, where you're trying to look like an expert even when you're learning. So the idea is to share your experience. People will find more authenticity and relate with you more, knowing that you're just sharing your journey, you're just sharing your journey at that point, as opposed to you're trying to teach. No, you can't be teaching people what you're just new into. You understand? So that's one thing that happens a lot, and you don't want to fall into that. Then, of course, there are areas where you really know it, then you can communicate that with your knowledge. But in areas where, so you should not fall into the trap that all your posts must sound off like you are trying to teach people what. No, so you're not trying to teach people all the time. Some is just your experience. Some you're just even just trying to ask questions, trying to see if people have one or two ideas. That's why you see people put up polls where they ask questions to get people's comments and recommendation. Then another thing I'm going to share with in terms of social media content is that when you're sharing social media content, ensure that you do not what's the word I'm looking for now? Ensure that you do not put yourself in a position for that post you get to have backlash, negative backlash, right? Now, there are certain conversations that are sensitive. And those kind of conversations also, there is no right or like there are people who have it right, there are people who have it left. You understand? So in those kind of posts, if you're making those kind of posts, always put a disclaimer or make it outrightly, like put it outright, like this is my own view, right? Make it clear so that you don't have issues. You get that you
Hello,
can't.
guys. My network has been crazy. Okay, so the next thing we are looking at is how to develop a content writer's mindset. I cannot believe I was just talking to myself all this while. All right, how to develop a content writer's mindset. I was saying that content writing is like a journey, right? Content writing is like a journey. And you have to ensure you carry your audience from one point to another point until you deliver what you want them to understand. Now, so the first thing you must know is that you are writing to a particular person, to an audience. Your content is not to be consumed by you. So you have to place yourself in the shoes of your audience. Like, understand your audience, place yourself in their shoes. If you were your audience, this content you're writing, would it satisfy why you are searching online? If you're searching online on let's say how to create a portfolio, or let's say how to build bond, how to connect more with your mom, or let's say how to fall in love in 5 days. Let's say you're into relationship writing, etc. How to fall in love in 5 days. You should ask yourself, who will be looking for this kind of content? Because obviously it's not you. Someone is looking for this content. What's this person looking at? What does this person want to achieve with this content? That kind of mindset will help you to create something that is useful. So one thing, in a writer's mindset, you always see yourself as your audience, right? You want to understand their pain point. You want to imagine, like, you want to understand their pain point. And when you're writing, imagine you're the only writer that understands their need. You're the only one that can solve their problem. So create your content as if you're the only one that can solve their problem, as detailed as it should be. Focus on value-driven content, not just because you are an SEO writer, you want to rank number 1 on Google, so you just write anyhow content and it ranks, but people will read it and they are not finding solution. That's not right. Focus on one customer at a time. I'm going to be fast because I've already spent a lot of time. Focus on one audience at a time. Move them from one step, the known, to another step, the unknown, and ensure you develop a unique voice. Do not try to sound like everybody when you're writing. Okay. All right. Now let me put it. Can you all hear me?
Can you people see the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see the slide?
Right. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Success, where are you now?
Okay, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yes, there. Now, no, go back. Go back. That's writing a great content. Yes. Yeah. Now, what makes a great content? What makes a content great? Number 1, clear purpose and audience focus. Your content should have a clear purpose. From the beginning of your content, your audience should know why you are writing. 5 ways to prepare for an interview. 10 dating tips that works all the time. From the beginning of your content, from the headline to the introduction, your audience should know what they are getting. It should be clear and it should be audience focused. If you're writing a content for teenagers, be specific. If you're writing a content for women, be specific. If you're writing a content for working class people, be specific. It should not, don't try to speak to everybody at the same time in your content. We're structured and organized. When I say we're structured and organized, your content should have a structure. From the title, you should have subheadings, you should have conclusion. Some parts should be bold, and so that your audience can follow you from the beginning to the end. There are some persons that write online. I don't know if you've ever seen this. You go online on a website, you look at, you're trying to get an information, but the way the content is written, everything is compact together. The paragraphs are so long, you just get tired. I don't know if it's just me, but anytime I see content like that, I get tired. I don't read it. I will look for the one that is easier to read. That's what happens when you make your content and it's not organized. People will not read it. Make your content valuable and informative. Next slide. Make your content clear and use concise language. Like, use simple language when you're writing. Some persons, because you are good with your vocabularies, you want to write using, anything you can think of. Please, it's not everybody reading your content that are as educated as you are. So you want to use simple terms. If instead of using something that is difficult, think of the closest alternative and use that instead. Proper formatting and visual appeal. Ensure your content is properly formatted. Like, do not use large block of text. Break your content. Let there be enough white spaces in between, because let's be honest. Okay, before I proceed, let me say this honest truth. There are a lot of content out there, and people online users, our attention span, let me not say there, our attention span is very slow, very small. Before you be patient to read a very long content, that maybe that content is very informative, it ticks your boxes on things that are very important. But most times people just scan through your content to catch the important things and they move on. So you want to make your content scannable so that it will also fulfill the purpose of your writing. Always cite credible sources when you are putting facts in your content. Don't go and lie because you want to write fast. Ensure you compare and contrast and you give sites. You cite your content. Now, originality, scannable, evergreen content, I've already mentioned that. Originality, please do not plagiarize or plagiarize. Do not copy someone else's content because you want to be fast in creating content. That is wrong. Google frowns at it. And if your bosses should find out that's what you're doing, you may lose your job. So as much as you can, do your research and write original content. Do your research. Evergreen content are content that are always relevant no matter the time. They are always relevant. Now let's quickly go to how to create evergreen content. At this point, I would really need to how to create evergreen content. Anyways, let's continue. Content writing is a deliberate journey, not a random stroll. So, while multiple paths can lead to success, a well-planned approach ensures you arrive efficiently and effectively. Now, there is no one way to write the content. Like my process may be different from other writers' process. But one thing that is top is that for you to get a good content, you have to make great plans. Otherwise, you will end up creating anything and it will just keep hanging out there on the internet. So I'm going to, while I'm trying to still connect back, because at this particular part, I'm supposed to like share my screen and put you guys through a process. The process of creating content, number one. That word there, it's a mistake. Understand the topic. Before you start writing, ensure you understand what you are supposed to write about. Research and comprehend the subject matter. If you're writing about how to can somebody give me one topic, just any topic at all? If you can hear me, just give me one topic. Let's use that as an example while we proceed with this part first. How to drive a car. Oh, O'Shea. All right. Imagine you want to write about how to drive a car. First of all, you need to understand. So if I'm a writer and I'm giving this topic, how to drive a car, it's kind of broad. I need to understand who this content is for. Who wants to learn how to drive a car? Am I teaching everybody? Am I teaching youth, teenagers? Am I teaching adults? That's number one. You should understand the scope of that topic. Understand your audience. Who is this content for? Who am I writing for? That's why sometimes when you're giving a topic, you have to narrow that topic down so that you don't just write a general content and it gets lost. You can narrow that topic, how to drive a car, as a guide, how to drive a car for 19 years old or in your 20s, how to drive a car in your 20s. Let's say how to drive a car in your 20s. So I know that anybody reading this is in their 20s and they want to learn how to drive a car, right? So,
or how to drive a car if you're pregnant.
Exactly. Oh, that's very much specific. How to drive a car if you're pregnant. Now you understand your audience, so you know who you're writing for, right? The next thing is define the goal. This content, is it an informative content? Is it an educative content? Is it an entertainment content? Is it a persuasive content? No. The content is educative because you want to teach pregnant women how to drive a car. Now, going through this chain of thoughts will help you to know exactly what your readers are looking for. Now, once you've identified all of these, you ask yourself, what is the outcome? Do I want people, after reading this content, do I just want engagement? They will come back again for another information. Or I want conversion. Maybe you're writing for a company that sells cars and they want to like promote a particular kind of car for pregnant women. So yeah, so if I'm writing how to drive a car for pregnant women, I know that it is like a transactional content where at the end, the response I want from my audience is for them to buy, right? Now, once you've identified all of this, you start your research process. Now, this is where you start research because you know your audience, you know the outcome, you know the goal. Now you want to write the content. It gives you direction, okay? So now you start what we call search. You research search intent. Search intent is more like those people who will be reading this content, what do they want to know? And there are different ways to do this. Google auto response, people also ask, related searches. You have to identify your keywords, etc. Please,
as the other comes. So just to add to what she was talking about, she was talking about search intent, and she was talking about how you can know search intent. So while she's trying to come in, I'm feeling like I could throw in. So the minute she comes in, please, somebody should let me know she's back. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but let me share this so that I can just walk you guys through why she comes. All right. So she was talking about search intent, right? So let's say, for instance, somebody is doing a search of, you say we're talking about how to learn driving for pregnant women, right? Or for pregnant women. So we want to create a content that teaches pregnant women how to drive. Now, if you are giving this content, or this content is the content you search, maybe you work with a client that has that is an auto company or right, and they say, "Oh, create this content." Now, how you get to like understand the search intent? What we call search intent is short for intention, right? What is the real intention? What is the people searching for this thing? What do they want to learn? So you want to know that. You scroll down, you see these people also ask session that you always find on search engines, right? Can I learn how to drive while pregnant? How many months pregnant can you not drive? At what stage of pregnancy should you stop driving? Where should a pregnant woman sit in a car? So all these questions people also ask begins to form your ideas about what you can do in the content, right? So if the overall content is how to drive, how to learn how to drive as a pregnant woman, these people also ask, now begins to give you ideas about other subheadings that can be in the content. Because remember that the intent, like we're talking, is what's the real desire. So if somebody who is trying to learn how to drive, is it possible that we should also tell the person, oh, at so and so stage of pregnancy, you should not be driving again? You understand? That is where you see that question. Question 4, at what stage of pregnancy should you stop driving? You get, so we can pick that heading and say, okay, that will be one of the heading for our content. So can I learn how to drive while pregnant? You get, it might just be a question. You can even use that to start your content. For instance, I can now begin a content, having this kind of situation, I can now start my content by saying, a lot of people get confused about driving as when they are expecting. Most people have said that driving while you're expecting is not good, while others have said driving where you're expecting does not change the fact that you're going to have a healthy baby. If you are reading this, it means you're also curious about this question. Well, you're in the right blog or you're in the right page. In this content, I'm going to be teaching you how to learn driving as a pregnant woman. And I'm also going to let you know that there's nothing wrong with driving if you are pregnant. However, you should take note that at certain stages of your pregnancy, you need to stop driving in order not to overstress yourself and the baby. Now, I just read this out from my head. You understand? I have not, this is going to now.
It earlier, how to prepare Nigerian jollof rice. Okay? How to, now, you will observe as I am typing this to the search bar, you're seeing suggestions down.
It's still
It's called Google Auto Response.
It's still
Can you hear me?
page I'm showing.
Yes, fast tires page. You can see me typing, right? Can you see the screen? I'm trying to type something.
No, it's not showing. It's only
No. I cannot see it.
Okay, just hold on.
Yes.
How about now? Can you see anything?
yes, we can.
Okay. So I don't know why you couldn't see what I was typing, but now let's just go back to this. So I picked a topic, how to prepare Nigerian jollof rice, right? Now, if we are giving this topic to create a content on, I know everybody can create content on preparing jollof rice, but now, how to prepare Nigerian jollof rice? First of all, when you look at this topic, if I'm giving this topic to write, I will not be in Nigeria and I'm writing how to prepare Nigerian jollof rice. Of course, I'm in Nigeria. Maybe everybody should know how to create Nigerian jollof rice. So it gives you the thought that, oh, it's possible people who needs to read this, who are searching for this, they are not even in Nigeria or they are not Nigerian. So it's possible that I am writing this content for outsiders who wants to try this delicacy called Nigerian jollof. So I'm writing this for them. So why and what is the purpose of writing this? What is their intention? Like Mr. Richard was explaining, what do they wish to learn? Of course, they want to learn how to prepare not just any jollof rice, but Nigerian jollof rice. In order to understand the search intent better, now I will go down. Of course, the top content here are the ones that are ranking for this keyword, and they are videos specifically because anyone who is searching for this wants to learn how to cook this rice. So the person is not trying to buy rice. The person wants to learn. The person is looking for both informational and educational content on this. The videos here will explain that better. Now I will go down to people also ask. People also ask questions that other people are asking that are not exactly what you have typed to your search bar. So people are asking, how is jollof rice prepared step by step? Now, all of these you're seeing here, if not that I'm having issues showing you my screen, I wanted to put you through the process of like creating content. So now, what you do when you start this kind of research, you open a blank Google Doc, and now you go through these suggestions. People also ask, how is jollof rice prepared step by step? You copy this because it's relevant to what you want to write about. You copy it and you paste it on your empty Google Doc. You go down. What is the secret ingredient for jollof rice? Is it relevant? It's probably relevant. You want to copy that and paste it on your Google Doc. You keep going down. What ingredients are in jollof? It's almost the same with this. Now, what you are doing, you're trying to form your content outline using what people are asking about that keyword. Do you get? So your outline is not based on what you think. It's based on what people are actually searching for, so that you don't end up creating content that only you read. You create content that when people make a search, your content pops out as, oh, this is relevant. So now people are asking, what gives jollof rice its red color? You want to copy and put it in your empty Google Doc, right? You go down. you will see this same, people also ask, okay, there is a part called related searches, is not here. Sometimes you see either people also ask here, you see related searches. This can also be called related searches. How to cook jollof rice and the ingredients. If you open this particular content in a new slide, you're going to see it will give you more suggestions on what people are searching for. Jollof rice secret list, best Nigeria party jollof, etc. How to cook student jollof rice, how to cook jollof rice with tomato paste, English for party jollof. Now, so you want to check out all these other contents. When you click on this, it will open another page. Let me see if I can share it.
Okay, now it's working.
It's working?
Yes, so the different, you can now scroll through different tabs. Check if you can share your notes. Check if you open your notes, open a note. Okay, you're on a doc. Okay, you can now work with that.
Can you see my doc?
Yes, we can see your doc now.
Oh, perfect. Great. I'm so sorry about tonight. I'm sure our next class will be very smooth. This has been a lot of work. All right. So now I was saying, when you click on any of these, people also ask, it will take you to another page where you can get more ideas that will form your outline. Now, ingredients for party jollof rice. We can come here and we will see another search result and we get more ideas. What are the list of things needed for jollof rice? What is the secret ingredient in jollof rice? What are the best spices for jollof rice? When to add butter to jollof rice, etc. So all of these, now you see all of these things you're seeing in people also ask. These are the important things you want to discuss in that content because that's what people who are searching for Nigerian jollof rice are looking for. Do you understand? If you go down to the related searches down, you will still see more party jollof rice secret ingredients. So basically, you will copy all of this, right? What I did initially was, so what you want to do, you open a doc. When you open a doc, you start copying those related searches and you just paste them there one after the other, right? And once you have that done, you go back to your search results and you want to check the first 3 contents. Now, you want to understand what kind of content format you'll be writing. Is it a listicle? Is it a step by step guide, etc.? So you look at the first 3 contents that are ranking. So you go, let's say these are the ones ranking, the rest are videos, right? Okay, this one is not a video. So you want to check how this content was written. Now, the first thing, I hope you guys are understanding the process. So once you have gone to these parts, people also ask, you copy anyone that is very relevant. You go to your Google Doc page, you paste it there. You go over to, and you keep doing that until you've exhausted everything you want to get, right? Secret ingredients. Let's say, supposing I did all of this, you want to keep doing that. Not all of them will be relevant, though, mind you. Some of them will not be relevant. Just copy the ones that are relevant, right? Once you are done with that, let's just leave it here because time is not on our side, right? And let's say best ingredients for blah, blah, blah. Now you want to go to the first ranking content. Now, the reason why you're looking at the first ranking content, you want to see the format that was used in this content to explain how to prepare Nigeria jollof rice. So now you just want to look at it, Nigerian jollof party jollof rice. Now you see the added Nigerian party jollof rice. That's because when you check the search results, there are some people also ask questions that are specifically on how to prepare Nigerian party jollof rice rather. Here, you'd see. Okay, so you look at the structure. They explained what party jollof rice is. They explained the ingredients, how long it takes to serve, how long this content is. Now they give you step-by-step guide. So from this, you would know this is a step-by-step guide kind of content.
because you want to teach how to create party jollof, right? If the first content doesn't give you enough insights, you can check the next 2 or 3 to get more insight. Now, while checking these other contents, you can get ideas on how to structure your own content. You can also get content headlines from them. So let's say this one, how to make party jollof rice West Africa. Okay, so you're going through this characteristics of party jollof rice. Now, if you observe, we didn't see characteristics in the other one. So you could want to say features of party jollof rice. That's an outline you may want to add to your own features of Nigerian, as is Nigerian party, not party, but you can say party jollof rice. Right? Go again. Now you're forming your content structure. Whose is this authentic jollof rice? You must not copy everything anyways. The spice profile. What can we conclude? Now, this content is not properly written because it's not teaching anybody how to prepare. Okay, instructions. Okay, so now what we can get from this is we are looking at a step-by-step guide, right? A step-by-step guide on how to prepare party jollof. Now, once you're done with this, you want to come back and arrange your outline. You can make your outline in question form. What are the lists for jollof rice? What is the secret ingredient in jollof rice? How is jollof rice prepared? Or you can refine it. Now, this is the content I prepared earlier today on this same, topic, how to prepare Nigerian jollof rice, step-by-step guide. So now, I did this today and I followed the process I just showed you. So what is jollof rice? I explained, I have my introduction, very simple, very organized. Jollof rice is a one-pot rice dish that's popular across West Africa. It's a great dish, blah, blah, blah. You see how well formatted this is. It's scannable. So you know what jollof rice, the types of jollof rice. Because I saw where they mentioned student jollof rice, I came here, I also mentioned student jollof rice. I've heard people say student jollof rice, family jollof rice, blah, blah, blah. But what are the types of jollof rice? Because while I was doing my search, I saw what are the types of jollof rice. So there is Nigerian jollof rice, there is Ghanaian jollof rice, right? So you want to just look at that, say the difference, please pardon the errors. Now, Nigerian jollof rice recipe or ingredients. I think we should use ingredient because I saw a lot of that. Ingredients. All right. So we move down. I explained the ingredients. Now, step-by-step guide to prepare Nigerian jollof rice. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. The only thing that is missing in this content is I didn't add visuals. By the time I add visuals from number 1 to number 3, now best way to serve Nigerian jollof rice. After cooking it, how do you serve it? The plantain, grilled fish, blah, blah, blah. Final thoughts, that's your conclusion. So this is the process of creating content. You see, the way I created this, if you're a foodie like me, you just found the right post. Today, I'm trying to share with you one of West Africa's most beloved dishes, Nigerian jollof rice. The context I use is like I'm writing to people that are not Nigerians, but they want to try Nigerian jollof rice. So it could be Ghanaians that want to try Nigerian jollof rice, or maybe Nigerians that are living outside the country, but they don't know exactly how this dish is prepared. So by the time you should read this content, you know how to prepare Nigerian.
Okay, so I really so sorry for the network this evening from her past. It's really been a thorn in our flesh. But I think from what she has explained, we now have an idea of how to come up with a written content. I think we would take questions now. So if you have question about the process of crafting a web content or a content, you can ask the question and I will try to answer. If she joins in, she would also add her voice to what is already going on. So who has question regarding the topic for today, how to write a content? So let me have your questions. You can raise your hand if you have questions. Raise your hand so that I would have it orderly. Just raise your hand. No, you're not getting the slide. Just raise your hand if you have question. Okay, please just raise your hand. If you have question, raise your hand so that I can take all the questions at once. So if you check the reaction section, you see an icon for raise hand. If you have question, please do that. Okay. All right. So I have 2 people. How many people have questions? So because it's not when I'm about rounding these 2, so that our time is already fast spent. All right, Amarachi, your question.
Hey, good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody. I don't know if this is really a question, but I want to ask, can someone be the first person to develop a content topic?
Okay, is that the question? You're done? Is there any other question?
I think that's the only thing, because I know Ma'am Success have been talking about checking the highest ranking and also using people always ask, or questions people always ask to develop your content. So I want to know if while writing a content, if you can be the very first person to develop a content that is also high in ranking. So that's it.
Okay, all right, great. So to treat that your question, I just hope if I had known, I could have made reservation for my own presentation, just maybe to cover up. But since that didn't happen, I will still make do. So is it possible for you to be the first person to write a content? Yes. So you know that we are humans. So we need to first understand the idea behind search engines. So search engines, and these are part of the things I would talk about in my own session when I start from class 5. The ideas behind search engine is to organize the world's data, the world's information, right? Before, in the past, when you want to find out things about the world, you usually go and you go through a very big book called an encyclopedia, right? So if you want to find out things, yes. Who is calling my name?
Oh, it's sources.
Okay, so just hold on. You're coming. So before, you have to go through something called an encyclopedia. Then search engines came in as a way to organize the world's information. Now, when the search engine started, they started by answering some questions that were already like the data is specific. Things like, what is the tallest mountain in the world? What is the longest river in the world? Those kind of questions do not change. Like, the answers to those questions do not change, right? It will always be there. You understand? What is the name of the shortest man that has ever lived? Okay, right? So search engines first organized those questions. Then when they were done with those questions, they were now left with the other questions which were subjective. You understand? For instance, a question like, what is the which universities are the best universities in Nigeria? Now, as much as that question can be written with facts, it can also have its own subjective um, touch, because people can add their own biases when making such content. So aside those kind of content, there are other things, there are other questions that human beings keep asking. You understand? So a new university can come up today, and there is a need to write about that university. There's a need to write about the admission process of that university. For instance, if you're an education content writer, and let's say the government starts a new scheme, you understand, to support people, there's a need to write that scheme. So it's not already there in the website, and you can find yourself that you might be the first person to be writing about it. Do you understand? For instance, if your friend runs a food business that is not very popular, and you are a writer, you have a website, for instance, you want to help that your friend promote that food business, you understand? You can happen to be the first person to write about that particular business. Do you get? So for instance, let's imagine we have Amarachi spicy foods, you understand? And there is no content online about Amarachi spicy food. You can be the first person to write it. So when we talk about using or learning from what other people have done, you will now ask, how can it now come together if you have to learn? So the thing is that you have to collaborate, or you have to correlate what other people have written in similar kind of content. So if you are writing about, for instance, a new content that says Amarachi spicy kitchen, delicacies in Amarachi spicy kitchen, for instance, you now want to go and check, for instance, everyday delicacies in everyday food. You see the contents that ranking top there. How were those contents written? Were they descriptive? Were they listicles? Listicles are those kind of contents where you list 1, 2, 3, 4. You get in what format? So that's the learning you will do from that one. So the learning you do in that kind, or when you're writing that kind of a content, is different from the learning you have done when writing for a content like how to prepare Nigerian jollof. Because Nigerian jollof, how to prepare Nigerian jollof, have been written over and over and over. So yes, you can be the first person to write certain content, you understand, but it also does not take away the place of learning. Another way where learning from what has been happening also comes together is when you see what, if you're writing about, let's imagine you want to write about Amarachi's bread, a new bread called Amarachi's bread. You want to write a content about Amarachi's bread. You want to go and check, for instance, Nebu breads. You understand how Nebu breads, you want to see what do people ask about Nebu bread. The same questions people ask about Nebu bread are most likely the kind of questions people will want to ask about Amarachi bread. So for instance, if people were asking what ingredients do they use in preparing Nebu bread, know that people will also ask what ingredients do they use in preparing Amarachi bread. If people ask questions like how many stores sell Amarachi bread in Nigeria? Sorry, how many stores sell Nebu bread in Nigeria? People will also ask how many stores sell Amarachi bread. So you will not wait for when people start asking it. Since you're writing it for the first time, or you're the first person putting out that content, you want to see those kind of similarly asked questions, but now you now tailor it to your own content. So the learning process is still there. You understand? I don't know if I've tried to break it down to the barest minimum and even expand beyond what you asked to ensure that I explained it very well. Hope you get the point, or do you still have? Okay, great.
I get the point. Thank you, sir.
All right. Before Blessing asks a question, regarding this Amarachi's question, is anybody still confused about how you can write a content for the first time? Anybody, if you do, ask your question now. If you don't, we can go to the next question. Okay, I believe nobody has. So, Blessing, you can go on with your question. Amarachi, bring your hand down so that Blessing can take a question.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Okay, my question is, in yesterday's class, I think you said, as a writer, you shouldn't be everywhere. Like you should be focused. Like have what you want to be known for. Your unique or your specific interest. You should know what you really want and what you want to be writing about. You can't be everywhere at the time. Okay, but today, as I think our guest speaker was saying that you can be diverse in writing. I don't, like you can decide to write on maybe education, for instance, cooking or whatever you want to talk about at the moment, as long as you are unique. I mean, like you don't try to be anyone else, you're yourself, and then you are either informing or educating or addressing an issue. So I want to ask, is it like I don't know, like basically from before yesterday's class, I had the idea that okay, my interest was okay, ghostwriting, writing ebooks and all. But with the knowledge so far, I realized that okay, beyond that, you can actually, especially based on what she taught us today. So I want to ask, how can you, let's say, manage yourself? Or how can one manage yourself in this aspect? Like, you are not trying to be everywhere, but yet you are diverse, like she said. I don't know if you understand the question.
Yeah, I get your question. So the statement from today is actually not meant to contradict the statement from the day one. You understand? So there is something called topical authority. You understand? There's something called topical authority. So especially when we're talking about web content, you understand? If I am to recruit you as a writer, the first thing I ask you is what niche do you write in? Because somebody who is focused or who has been writing in health niche for the past 2 years, you will not go and take a content on finance. You will not go and give the person a content for finance. You understand? So even if as much as you can write or you can churn out a content in finance, you don't want to be the person that is not focused because you will not be trusted because you do not have topical authority, right? You need to have spent considerable hours and time and years and months writing in a certain industry to have some certain level of knowledge that you can pass down and organizations will trust you to write for them. And you can't have that if you're writing for just any niche that comes. Even though you can write in all niche or many niches, doesn't mean that you should brand yourself as a writer in all of those niches. Now, if you even if you're a ghostwriter, it's not every book you ghostwrite, right? So if you ghostwrite children playbook, you need to focus on that and be writing in that area so that you get to a point where writing or ghostwriting those books become easy because you will have understood the research process and you will not even know some important things that are happening within that industry. Let's say, for instance, if you've been writing about scholarship for a long period of time, you will now know already the latest changes that happened in the last 2 years, in the last 3 years, but you would not know all of that if you are all over the place. Now, that is the importance of having a focus, focusing on a niche, even though you can do many things. Same thing with food content writing. You can write about food or you like, right? But you can write about engineering. You know how to write it. If they give you, you know what to put together. But when you want to present yourself as a writer, you want to really position yourself. Oh, I write about this or I write about that. There are also niches that intersect. So, for instance, if you write about education, you can also write about careers. You understand? If you write about what's it called, entertainment, you find out that you can write about tourism. You understand? So those things are intertwined. You understand? But if you're writing about tourism and science, you get, or emerging tech, is two words apart. You understand? Somebody who wants to hire you to write about emerging technology, you need to have been in that space, understanding what are the latest things happening in the tech world, AI, cryptocurrencies, this one, that one, Starknet, you get all of those things, Starlink, Neuralink, all of these things. You need to have in-depth knowledge, and you can't have it if you're here today, there tomorrow. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, salute. Is Success back? Is Success here? Success, are you here?
Yeah, I've been here. Like,
okay. All right, great. So this is already 10.
I mean,
did you finish
and everything.
Did you finish what you wanted to share?
Yeah, I was just going to return back to the main slide so I can share. I mean, you've taken the questions. I'm sure there are no more questions, so I can just give the assignment and proceed. Probably it's the next class. Whatever I see now, I would see them.
Okay, so guys, in the next class, the closing part of our presentation, which was a bit shaky, she will just run through it again. So, okay, you just run through it again in the next class before you now go into the other stuff. So, but you can give the assignments for today.
Yeah.
Are you sharing the slides for that, or you just?
Okay. I will share. I think I figured this out now. So okay, so why that's loading. Hopefully in the next class I will just like go through this. So your assignment is it's simple. Write a 300-word content piece on how to create your first content as a beginner, following the process I showed you, understanding what you are required to write about, and then go through the process of research and come up with your content outline. Just 300 words. It was initially 500, but I mean 300. But if you want to write up to 500, please. Yeah, 500, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's make it 500 then. So you would,
so please,
Mr.
take
Richard,
a
should this be submitted by
screenshot of the
tomorrow?
assignment.
Or in the next class?
So take a screenshot of the assignment. Everybody take a screenshot of the assignment. So I don't want to hear I did not see the assignment. Here's the assignment now. Take a screenshot, write a 500-word content piece on how to create your first content or how to become a content writer. Success, let's put another question, how to become a content writer.
Okay, like 2 topics, either
Yes,
this or the
anyone.
other.
Yeah, either this or the other.
All right.
So you people already heard this thing, so you can start typing it out so that you say how to become a content writer or how to create your first content as a beginner. So you're writing a content. So imagine that somebody is trying to learn how to become a content writer. You understand? You have also started your own process. From your own experience, what will you advise the person? Then you can now go online too and do a little research. Look at search intents that are related and see how you can connect the dots. Then would see how to create your first content as a beginner or how to become a content writer. 500 words, pick one. If you can even write on the 2, good. So screenshot the assignment now.
Okay. All right. That's going to be the end from my end for today.
Okay, so
Next
that's
class, I will go through the process again before introducing the next topic.
okay. All right. So have we taken the screenshot? If you've taken the screenshot, say drop a reply, say I've taken it. If you have taken the assignment, so this particular assignment, great. This particular assignment, I will first see it via mail. So I will first see it via mail. This is the mail, everybody. Then when I see your mail and I okay your content or I give you your corrections, once I am done with your corrections, you post it on your what's it called now? LinkedIn as an article. So send your assignments to the mail I just sent now. Send your assignments to the mail I just sent now. Copy out the mail. Copy out the mail. Send your assignments to the mail I just sent now. Copy out the mail. Copy out the mail. Today is Wednesday. Your assignment should start coming in from tomorrow. It should start coming in from tomorrow. There's a little change in our next class. Our next class is not holding on Friday anymore. It's actually holding on Saturday per the request of the trainer. So Friday is Sabbath. That time is Sabbath hours and would not work. So Saturday is the right time. So Saturday, 8 p.m. I hope people are taking notes. I'm not hearing everybody's voice. You can unmute yourself so that I know I'm talking to people and you're hearing me. Okay, great.
Yes, sir.
8 p.m. Your class is 8 p.m. on Saturday. I have said that, and I have talked about the assignment. I've dropped the email. Some of you are not connected to me on LinkedIn, and I'm trying to make corrections to the post you made. And I'm now finding that I have to send you a connection request. So I know some people, I saw their own, and I saw that they are not even, they are not connected. I just left their post like that. So I dropped my link that day, and I said, everybody should connect. Even if you had not opened your own, I don't know why you did not copy the link and kept it aside. There are also some people that have not done the test. Some people have not done the test. You have not done one day. Some people did only one day, did not do day 2. You get, time will not allow me to stress on it. But you know yourself, you are already owing. There is no day 2 post. Tomorrow night is day 3, and you're already slacking behind. Like I've already said, by after the class 4, people who do not meet the requirements and the demands of the classes we will just part ways so that we can focus on people who can stay to the end. And like I said, we're just at the top part of the food. We've not gotten to the bottom part. So sit up. Even me, I joined the people in the post because me too, I'm posting and I'm using the hashtag. Some people are not using the hashtag. So also go through the hashtag, connect with the people that are making the post. Somebody should copy my my LinkedIn profile URL. Right. That will be all. So I think I've said enough. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. See you guys on Saturday. Saturday, we're going to be talking. We're going to continue. We're going to wrap up how to create content and how to pick a niche. And then we're also going to talk about web content, social media content creation. So thank you and good night, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.